program, viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, Valhalla. Yeah? Hope y'all had a Merry Christmas. Greetings program from Daryl the Derelict. Walter to Moscow. Roll Tide, Keely Town, roll tide, my brother. Young Bunny and Shockwave. Pacific 414. Hey! Mephisto's movie reviews. It's time to wake the neighbors' boys with Southern Viking. Jill Powers, the River Dada. Penny! Keith, the movie geek from Pop Culture Minefield. The Muppet from Another Puppet Showback, TJC. Captain Fandom Nerd. Psychodor 9. Jingle bells, Batman smells. How was your Christmas? Mine was pretty good. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful Christmas yesterday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, deck the halls, and Disney can kiss Loki's balls. So there we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You might have had a good Christmas and a great day yesterday. Disney's not. Something's up. And we're going to talk about that this morning. What is up, brother? It is good to see you. Holy crap. Keith, the Movie Geek's going to be over on Pop Culture Minefield. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to them, go and check them out. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful YouTube channel with Keith, the Movie Geek, Keith Moncrief, and of course, Jagiri, who sometimes pops in on Friday night to hang out with us on The Late Show. Check both these guys out. Absolutely wonderful content. Pop Culture Minefield's great. Wonderful group of people. We love all you guys. Keep kicking butt and keep taking names into next. Man, keep going into next year. Keep kicking butt and taking names into next year. Sci-Fi Mombi, what is up? Good morning, Sci-Fi Mombi. It's good to see you. Puddle Jumper, what is up, brother? Good morning. Mine was good. Back to the grind, 8:15 here. Oh. A lot of people going back to the grind. A lot of people are starting to wake up and realize this is gonna be like a climb. We're gonna have to climb up to get out of a lot of the crap we're in. New Year is Shockwave's birthday. Yes, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. Not too far off now. Holy crap. We got, how many days left do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 5 if you count today. That means, man, New Year's Day. That's Wednesday. Dude, happy birthday. Oh, yeah. Keep kicking ass and taking names, brother. My Christmas was chill. Good. Good. Heck yeah. Chill out, hanging with the fam. Doesn't get better than that. And it doesn't. It really doesn't. So, Loki, it is the truth. Dude, let me tell you. I want to tell you. What is up? What is up? We don't forget. You know what? There is forgiveness. There is forgiveness in our hearts, but we don't forget. And you've got to show it now. I'm sorry, words will not save you. Why? Because you've been throwing words at us since the very beginning. Since all of this started, you've been throwing words at us. Words like Yahtzee and ist and obe and all this bullshit. Just because someone doesn't like your stuff, suddenly there are all these things, and they're gonna give you this. Oh, well, that wasn't Disney saying that. Yes, it was. You know what you were doing. You know what was going on behind the scenes. Don't deny it. We've seen your own meetings. We've seen recordings of your own meetings where you have sit there and said, we have to teach these kids this, and that. This crazy, absolutely crazy shit. Because we can't entrust the parents to do it. Now they're saying, oh, we would never imagine to get involved in this because it's a parent's job to, and I'm like, wait a minute. We heard you in your own meetings, behind the scenes. We can't trust parents to teach the kids, yada, yada, yada. We've got to do it for them. We've got to include it in our movies. We've got to include it in our TV shows. We have to make these crazy space witches that yumbo jumbo bullshit and pop out twins. You did all this. You said all this. And now it's suddenly, well, we never intentionally meant to get involved in the process and da 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 da. We just want to make entertainment for the youngins. Please just forget anything we have said previously and move along. You know, there's a reason why those raids down in Florida that happen monthly, there's always 2 or 3 Disney employees in there. Explain that. Explain how you basically tried to brainwash an actress into doing your bidding and doing what you wanted her to do and basically control every aspect of her social media in her life. I mean, you made her to go to re-education camp. That's what you made her do. You tried to get her to publicly reverse everything she'd ever said about anything because you wanted her in re-education camp. That was you, right? Right? That's what this lawsuit with Gina is all about. Oh, well, everybody's got to bring up the Gina Carano thing. Blah, 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 blah. Did you not fire her because she had an opinion outside of your little bubble? Yes or no? Did you sit her down and make her talk to a dozen people all at the same time and basically put her through this re-education camp? Did one of your own people that you had her talk to admit, listen, some of what goes on here is crazy. Just go with it and say yes to everything and do whatever they want to, and it'll all be over soon. Did you not put her through that? And now you're saying, well, we should entrust that the parents know what is best for their children and that they'll have those talks with them. Did you not say, Disney needs to be knee deep in politics because that's exactly what we do here at Disney? And now you're like, well, we never intentionally meant to get in the political game. Is this just because Orange Man bad? I mean, or is there something else? Is there something even bigger coming that's going to make you look like ass? But Disney's not the only one. Disney's not the only one that's doing it. Surprise, surprise. Paramount's come out and erased Discovery from canon. Does that mean that Strange New Worlds is erased from canon too? Does that mean that's going to go the way of the dodo? Are you going to get rid of that? Because how can that exist without the pea in its mouth discovery? How can the two exist outside of each other when they're built off of each other? All built on the premise that on January 6th, Orange Man Bad did something bad and it created Starfleet. For everybody out there going, no, it didn't. Oh, yeah, they made that canon. They made that canon in Strange New Worlds. Ladies and gentlemen, in the first episode. Yes, they did. Oh, because of what happened that day. We had World War III and the Eugenics Wars. Huh. So you basically just, said that Orange Man Bad created Starfleet. No, we didn't. Yes, you did. Because, yeah. And Klingworks. Okay, so now Paramount, who said this had nothing to do, this was all isms. This was all you being a phobe. This was all you being a Yahtzee, has come out and said, yeah, we knew we screwed up when we got the reception to the Klingworks. We knew we made a mistake. And we started working from that point on of getting absolutely erasing the show. That's a lie because you defended it every year it was on. And now that it's off, you're saying all these things now. No. Sorry. That's not happening. No, we're not going back and watching your shit. I stopped watching it, Cotton. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't been watching it. I don't watch Disney shit. I don't watch Star Trek anymore. I watch old Star Trek. We just started Deep Space Nine, a second watch through of Deep Space Nine. We watch the old stuff because it's good. I'm just wondering why all of a sudden Disney, Paramount, these companies are starting to go, oh, we never meant this. Sorry. Our bad. I'm explaining that, Cotton. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Why? Why come out and apologize now? Why say we never meant to? Our bad. I mean, you're doing fine, right? Your businesses are doing fine. Oh, well, wait. Paramount's in the toilet. Paramount's going to get sold either in bulk or a whole bunch of pieces. Why is Disney taking a knee? They were all about activism. They were all about firing people who didn't agree with everything they said. They were all about, hey, you go say whatever you want and we'll be fine. But oh my God, you said this, you're bad, you're fired. Why retract that? Why? What's the point? What's the point of going back? Is it because you're in trouble? Huh? Are you in that much trouble? Doomcock had an aneurysm when they decanonized STD. I'm sure he laughed his ass off. Why? Because from year one, it's canon, it's in the canon timeline, and blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. The worst thing they could have done to all of this is prime timelines, canon timelines, all this shit. Because all it did was piss people off. That's it. How about your story by committee? Is that changing too? Are you going back to real writers, or are you going to still do the story by committee shit? Huh? If nothing's changing, why come out and apologize? Why come out and say we screwed up? Sorry. Why do that at all? Why do that at all? I just don't understand. Are they going to call it the years of the gas leak? It's something. What did they put in the Kool-Aid over there at Paramount and Disney? How many people are going to come out and say, well, our hands were tied, there was nothing we could do? I mean, the more and more this comes out, the more it sounds like everybody's starting to grasp at straws of it's over. Is that where we're at? You know, I've said since the very beginning, you're going to have companies that once this shit stops, it's going to be like, oh, we were held hostage and we had to and we were told and blah, 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 blah. They were eager and bouncing up and down at the idea of ruining the things that you care about. And now we're back to, hey, let's kiss ass. Just don't turn it back on. Don't turn it back on. Don't watch it. Don't have anything to do with it. Ghost Rider, I was excommunicated from the industry for telling them all this for years. Pushed out. Right there. I ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. They took joy and glee in stepping on something you cared about. And you know what? It made you realize you're better off without it. You know, there's a reason why Papa up here is sitting here bouncing up and down in his chair, pissed off, trying to get the attention of Loki, saying, what the shit? Why are we talking about it then? Question is, why aren't more people saying, why are they suddenly done? They wanted this, right? This is what they wanted. How long before, we were forced to send money to Ukraine for blah blah blah. We were forced to do it. Our hands were tied behind our backs. How long before other companies are like, oh man, we were held hostage and blah 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 blah. It's not our fault. Right now, the games business is getting an absolute beatdown, shellacking. Because they're sitting there doing the same thing that movies have been doing. Why? Why suddenly change your tune? Unless suddenly our business is important to you, which you've said over and over and over again isn't important. Right? It's not important. We don't need it. Who gives a shit? We're going to do it anyway. Doesn't matter if it's stupid or not. Why would you go about this? But then again, I had to ask, why the hell would you shit all over a customer base that has constantly paid your bills? Why would you do that? I mean, you've been doing it. And usually it comes down to one thing, politics. Half the country is evil and bad and horrible and despicable and rotten. We don't want you. We don't want you around. And then when you leave, it's, oh my God, we are so sorry. Disney never gave a flying fuck about woke. They're about following trends and making money off of it. When trends change, so do they. Duh. So there are no like psychological nutbags in Disney. So all the stuff we've seen, like the videos of the meetings and the stuff going on behind the scenes and these crazy Karen white women that do all this crazy shit. None of that had anything to do with any of this. Adega Outlaw, what's up? Late. Good morning, Valhalla. Good morning, Adega. Mad Doctor of Valhalla. When you've got a company that annually has someone in the sheriff's department report going, oh, well, and guess what, folks? Here it is. Every week it's the same story. 3 employees from Disney in Florida, 3 Orlando Disney employees, 2 Orlando Disney employees, half a dozen Orlando Disney employees. Really? Annually? Like, I mean, it's like clockwork. He's like, yep, you guessed it. Here it is. That's nuts. That's nuts. You're not going to do anything about that, but we're going to get rid of anyone that we deem unworthy of being with us enlightened folk over at Disney. I dig it. Thank you so very much for the $1.99 super chat, brother. This one is just for you. Long live the fighters. Skull!
Long live the fighters!
How many more are going to be begging for your business? How many? Oh no, Papa, I'm right there with you. And that's Disney's problem. Disney needs to fix that problem. Disney needs to vet these people better. Disney needs to do its homework instead of having its head crammed halfway up its ass. It's either they're incompetent and they don't see it, or they are complicit and they won't see it. There is no ifs, ands, buts, or others. Either they are so incompetent and their system is so just idiotic that they miss everything, or they're doing this and they just don't care. They just don't give a shit. It's part of doing business. Always going to get one or two of them. And we'll let the tree sort itself out. We won't worry about it. I mean, if that's the case, holy shit. What does that tell you about a company? People are still going to work for it. Why? Because it's Disney. Make no mistake. It's Disney. You can know all about this and still work for it. How do I know that? Because Hollywood did it for years with Harvey Weinstein. They all knew, and they called him God on high, on the mountain, Weinstein. Oh, I got this because of Weinstein. Oh, I got that because of Weinstein. Oh, I got to make this movie because of Weinstein. Hollywood, 24 hours a day. Weinstein. And where did he end up? What was he doing? And we all know what he was doing. We all know what they let him do. This was out in the bag. People knew what he was doing for decades before all this shit came down. Before the Me Too hit, they all knew what he was doing. And they all knew why he did it. And if you were an older woman at the end of your career, I can think of a couple of you, he didn't want to touch you. Why? Because you weren't young and impressionable and doe-eyed. And that's exactly what he wanted. Young, impressionable, doe-eyed girls. Not women, girls. He wanted to ruin that. That was what posted his toasties. Why would you want to emulate that? Unless, that was the hot thing of the month. That really? That's what you're going to do? You're going to do that? And Disney doesn't give a shit. Ghislaine Maxwell hosted a regular children's show at Disney. He ain't lying. He's not lying. You can say whatever you want to about these people. You can say everything behind all of these dudes. Isn't it interesting? Look at who's the chick off Smallville? Who's that blonde chick off Smallville? It's always the exact same story. And this is why everybody hates the chick that worked for Weinstein. Who's the chick? Allison Mack. And she didn't even have a picture on the internet anymore. It's like all been deleted. God help me. Oh, there's one. I found one. So Allison Mack ends up at this Improve Yourself camp. And guess what it is? It's all this like dude trying to catch tail. And they brand women, right? So the brand is this guy's initials and Allison Mack's initials, like inverted or some stupid shit like that, and they brand women with the hot iron. I'm not kidding, right? So she's a part of this, and she's doing this with him. She's going out and recruiting women and then feeding them to this guy. So she's like the cult leader, but he's really the cult leader. So it's always the same. Harvey Weinstein and his assistant, the bitch that worked for Disney, that did The Acolyte, one of the biggest bombs in television history. How much did they spend on that show? Like $400 million for 8 episodes of space witches that have daughters. That all daughters. It's the Amazon space witch hour. All using the Force, all piggybacking off of how Anakin was made. The power of 1, the power of 2, the power of 0 people watching. $500+ million. $600 million for a show that was like, it's okay. Andor. Scissoring hens in space. I am not shitting you. This is what we get from these people. It's always a dude and a chick. It's like the Sith. There are always two of them there are. It's always a chick and a dude combo. The dude's getting the reward and the chick's like handing out the Brandon. What is it? Just because we were stuck in that cycle for like hundreds of years in the past that as soon as it happens, it's like, let's just go to town and go crazy? Is that really what we're going to do? Yeah, we got a bit of them. We man. And you're horrible for not loving it. You're horrible for not loving it. You're a terrible person for not accepting it. Blah, 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 blah. And it's always the same story. 2 there are. I have a suspicion that they're trying to make the Jedi into the women group from Dune at Disney. Yeah. I could totally see that. Look at how bad Snow White and Captain America are going to do. Oops, maybe we shouldn't have gotten involved in politics. Go. Is that why you're doing like a 3rd rewrite on oh yeah, the Bene Gesserit? The Bene Gesserit, yes. That is the lady group in Dune. This is Bene Gesserit. Who have been genetically manipulating bloodlines for centuries. All to create the supreme being, the Kwisatz Haderach. It's not going to happen, Disney. The sad part is the actresses they cast for Marvel Witches are decent actresses. And they've been able to draw a crowd. That speaks even more when people aren't interested. Dude, no one ever said they didn't have the talent. Disney can pull incredible talent. They can pull exceptional talent. The problem is that if you say anything that goes against their like doctrine, and it is doctrine, it's like brainwashing. You're evil and you have to go to re-education camp. This is the United States. This is not the gulags in Russia. In Russia, we go to gulag for re-education. In America, we go to Disney. Fuck me. Really? Is that what the Magic Kingdom has become? Is gulag in Russia? In Russia, we have gulag we send for re-education. We just send them the Magic Kingdom, bitch. Same with Bud Light. They never cared about woke. They had Seth Rogen, Amy Schumer, and Dilly. Now they have Shane Gillis. None of these companies give a shit. They want your money. But what's fascinating, Cotton, is that they didn't give a shit about your money. Now, all of a sudden, your money's important. They even told you, Cotton, don't buy our shit. We don't want customers like you. That's what they told you. That's what they told me. That's what they told everybody in here. We don't want customers like you. We want to get rid of the old customers, and we want new customers. And now everything's just fine. We're just gonna dip and duck and dive and not even act like we ever said any of this shit to you. Wow. Wow. We don't care about your money. We don't care about your views. We don't care about none of that. We just care about pushing this agenda. But now we care about your money. Now it's back to being important. Huh. No. No, you don't get my money. You don't get my money. You don't get me as a customer. I don't come back and go, well, maybe I'll give that next Star Wars a try. No. Look, the Star Wars is one of the most over-the-top, craziest shit that is the reason why we're here. Okay? I was absolutely guilty of being like, oh my God, this sucks. Oh my God, they're going to save it. Oh my God, this is going to be blah, blah, blah. Until I just realized I didn't give a shit anymore. I don't care. Do whatever you want with Star Wars. By all means, come out with a show that has lesbian space witches that have Force babies. And they're all women. And they're all twins. See if that'll sell. I never expected them to actually do it. A whole planet full of scissoring hens. All part of the same HOA group. With the same purple fucked up half comb over, half shaved head hair. But they did it. They didn't think twice. They just did it. All it took was Harvey Weinstein's former assistant, Leslie Headland, to say, hey, I think this will be cool. Okay. That's what Muhammad said. She just said, feed me, Seymour, just like Harvey did. Just like Harvey told her, feed me. Breaking, Loki exposed for being Disney Plus premium member with lifetime streaming membership. You can't have a lifetime streaming membership at Disney, Mike. You can't have a lifetime membership at Disney. Unless you know something I don't. Which means you have a lifetime subscription to Disney. I was under the impression you couldn't have a lifetime subscription to Disney. Our government is horrible. They tax Social Security and then screw you out of that too in other ways while giving away to people who are criminals who never fed their own Social Security accounts. That just happened. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Women with comb overs. Oh yeah, that's got to be tough, dude. That's got to be tough to have like a half comb shaved head, half comb. That's woo. Right? But they did it intentionally, so I don't care. Look, they did all this intentionally. All of this was done intentionally. Papa brings up like the whole marketing. This wasn't just big marketing. Well, their $1 billion marketing attempt failed miserably. The billions of dollars they spent doing this, and they spent a lot of money doing this, failed miserably. You killed an entire franchise. That was the hottest franchise the movie industry had ever seen. You had Marvel kicking butt and taking names. Yes, Marvel did more money than Star Wars. Kicking ass, taking names, doing things no one ever thought that comic book movies would do. It's never going to happen, not in a million years. And then look what they did. And look how they fucked it up. That's messaging. That's a big, just a message campaign. Oh, I forgot. The government paid for part of it. Didn't they? Huh. Interesting. A message campaign pushed out by the U.S. government, pushed through entertainment. You know what America loves more than anything else, boy? The Roman Colosseum. What? Yeah, movies and video games, and we're just going to get our fingers in all of it and make you love what we do and the way we see things. And that you'll just change overnight. It'll change you because you're so used to just like absorbing everything that this stuff is giving you that you'll just boom, go right along with it and change right along with it. But it didn't work out that way, did it? Didn't work out that way, and it's not going to work out that way. Thank fuck people are smarter than that. For a while, I think they really believed people would just go along with it and get with the program and be shamed. And yes, you were being shamed each and every day. Shame! You don't agree with the new D&D rules? Shame! You don't agree with the new stuff in Marvel? Shame! Shame, shame, shame. Constantly. Ding, 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 ding. Shame! As they try and tout you out in public and make you the bad guy. It's what they did to Gina. They can do it to her. They can do it to anybody. We're going to make you the villain of the story by making it look like you are this because you don't agree. Just because you don't agree. Oh, you're saying this isn't for you anymore? That's because you are an evil person and you don't know anything. And we're going to make you out to be this. How many of you here want to see Gina win like $1 billion? And I don't want to hear any shit about, man, that woman don't deserve $1 billion. Sure she does. For the bullshit, mind-wiping, interrogation, re-education bullshit that she had to deal with before they fucking let her go. Yeah. I want to see her win $1 billion. See, there's a difference between, do I think she deserves $1 billion? And do I think Disney needs to pay out $1 billion? I want to see Disney pay out $1 billion. That's what I want to see. I want to see Disney pay out $1 billion because they fucked around and found out. That's what I want to see. You effed around, you found out. Eat it. Mexican Iron Man, who's been a member for 51 months and is he's a Loki Army member. Says breaking. Loki invited Lucasfilm offices in San Francisco to shill for online streamer meetup. Also breaking. Loki channel to be sponsored by Lucasfilm for doing Skeleton Crew positive reviews. I didn't watch it. I didn't talk about it. I didn't want to. So I can't do a positive review of something I have not seen, nor would I. Just like I can't do a negative review. I can talk about the stupid trailer that I saw and that dumb girl like, I'm your captain now. But no. I've heard that. That's one of those things that people either love or hate too. I'm more interested in the public humiliation of Disney in a lawsuit. A dig outlaw, bringing up a very good point. If they can be exposed in such a public way that there's no doubt left to the public, then the lawsuit was successful. How many minds are you going to change with this lawsuit? How many people are going, oh my God, I'm reading about this, what they did to her, and I can't believe it. I never heard about this. When most people hear it every day. A lot of us in the sphere hear about it. That's why Cotton is so burned out with Gina fatigue. Because we've gone over the facts over and over and over again, and they're indisputable. Disney tried to hang her by her own petard just because she wouldn't go along with their sick, twisted shit. We know. We've known. But guess what, Papa? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people never heard. A lot of people, oh, it's misinformation. Oh, they're making stuff up. Oh, they have no idea it's Disney. Why would they do something like that when they did? And we know they did. And they know most people are never going to hear the truth. Most people are never going to find out what really happened. They're just going to think she's a racist. She's an obe. She's Yahtzee. She's like that Riley Gaines, that swimmer. It's funny that the people that are like go women are the ones that hate women, real women. I mean, if you're a woman with a peen, they love you to death. They'll do anything for you. They'll pop down on their knees and go to town. But if you're a real woman, they could give a shit less. Not unless you're touting that rainbow flag. You're nobody to them. The only thing that matters is you flying that flag. Or if you wear a skirt and you got a peen. What is that? Papa brings up the fact that, well, this is just the trend. They're following the trend. I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I've said that from day one. This is all the trend. And they're going to change face. And they're going to switch up. And they're going to go, oh, well, we didn't really mean to get involved in that. This was this other person's thing. And they will try and go back to the way things used to be. And they'll keep their people's mouths shut. Because they don't want to be embarrassed again. And they don't want anything messing with the bottom line. What they thought was the time of normalcy was over. The time of the peen in the dress was at hand. What they didn't, and that's what they were told. Trillions of dollars. This is trillions of dollars in the waiting. All we have to do is go out and take it. It's trillions of dollars we didn't have before, and we don't have to worry about anybody because we'll be inclusive and we'll be blah blah blah, and we'll be bringing the message. Well, guess what? Most people don't want to hear the message. Most people don't want to be preached to. They just want to be entertained. Are you not entertained? No, we are not. We haven't been. Well, then you must be an is to nobody out to know. We're just normal, everyday people. People that after a long, hard day at work want to turn on the TV and sit down and just decompress for an hour and watch a show. Or maybe at the end of the day, when you're getting ready to go to bed, pop the tube on and watch something with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever the hell's in bed with you. Hey, let's chill out and watch something before we crash. That's what most people want to do. They don't want to be lectured at. They don't want to be preached at. They don't want any of that shit. They just want to have a good time. I agree. It is the Roman Colosseum. This is how society has decided it wants to chillax. Is movies, entertainment, TV, and video games. Something will come along and replace something at some point. You'll have like 3D TV or holodecks. You already got VR. Except VR isn't making the dent that they really ever thought it would. I mean, how many years ago did the headset start to come out? Like 5, 6 years ago? Good ones that you could use to play, good games. I've got one over there somewhere in a box called a Vibe that I've had for like 5 or 6 years. Do you know what it does? It sits there in that box over there. It doesn't get used. Why? Because I played Aliens on it. I played the space games and stupid shit and all that shit on it. There's nothing left to do. That's not going to replace anything. It's not going to replace anything until you can get like a 3D model or whatever without all that bulky bullshit on. Nobody wants to wear it. Honestly, how well has that PS2 VR bullshit been doing? Not well. No one gives a shit about it. No one wants it. It's not like the last one. Why? Because the last one was a hot fad. Oh my God, VR, let's go and get it. And you know what? That helmet sucked ass. Okay. It cost almost as much as a HTC Vive, but it wasn't. It was like half as good. And it cost almost as much as one. That sucks ass. No one wants that. But hey, people bought it hand over fist and thought it was the greatest thing ever. The technological difference between a PlayStation 4 VR headset and a Vive is night and day. One, it's like a Nintendo. The other one is like a PS2. That's how much of a difference there is. One, you can clearly tell that you are playing something with a headset on. The other one is like, damn, this is badass. Elite Dangerous on PC with that headset was like chef's kiss. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You're looking around your cockpit. Damn. You're like, oh man, the controls do what your hands are doing. And you're like, shit, that's badass. You know how much I play that game now? Like 0. I don't have time. I don't have time to set it all up and do all my bullshit, get everything ready and checklist, do startup routine. I just don't have the time. If it was like set up, maybe if I had like a dedicated station to it where I could just hop in and be like, all right, let's go. Bloop, 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 bloop. Maybe. But who the hell can afford that? Who the hell can afford that? I'm trying to save up because honestly, when I'm out of all this, I'm done. I want to retire and open a record store. I've said that from the very beginning. That's what I want to do. Well, what do you mean, Loki? You want to retire and go back to work? Yeah, hell yeah, I do. Why? I want a vinyl store. I want a record store. Sell music for a living. That'd be great. Shit, man. I mean, honestly, I really don't think kids know how good they had it at one point. Going to work at like, record stores and movie stores. And now what do you got? You got freaking McDonald's and Starbucks? Really? That's where you want to go to work? As Guardian Records and Pizza. Yeah. Tell me about it. Totally have like a little pizza oven in there. Records and pizza. Movies and pizza would be even better. Back in the 90s, there was a VR game that had Incredible Universe in Arlington, Texas. It later became Fry's. It evolved into the Battle Royale games we have today. Dude, insaneness, but we're not there yet. We're not quite there yet. I'm playing Elite right now. Made it to Colonia. Now I'm out back to the bubble, trying to get back before they start letting people colonize outside the bubble. It's going to happen. It's going to be huge. I did my run all the way to the edge and all the way back in an eagle. I thought that was fun. That was interesting. That took a long time in an eagle, but it was fun. It was challenging. Sci-fi has always discussed current socio-political topics by dramatizing them and setting their consequences in the future. Modern sci-fi did that subtly and aesthetically. Modern sci-fi doesn't. Oh, you mean, yeah, older sci-fi. Walter, I get what you're saying. Yes. No, they just pop a log in front of your face and say accept it, or you're a Yahtzee. I remember Laser Quest. Dude, what was I playing the other day? It wasn't Dragon Quest. Or Dragon Slayer. It was the other one. Space Ace. I was playing Space Ace the other day. You believe that shit? I was like going through my games. I was like, holy shit, I've got Space Ace. I didn't even remember buying Space Ace. I was like, install Space Ace. Bluth. Oh man, that animation is awesome. So I had fun playing Space Ace. I'm in a Diamondback Explorer. Oh yeah. You kit those engines out right though, man. You can get some distance and some great mileage on it too. I was letting my old Nintendo and got Tetris to work. I was testing my old Nintendo and got Tetris to work. Yeah. It's not in here. What do I got? What am I working on? Let's see. So I'm working on the Sony, but next it'll be that. So this is project 2. So I'll probably done with the PS1 at some point in the new year. And what that is pulling the guts out. So I pull the guts out, pull the CD drive out, and I install a SSD. And I run the SSD with nothing but all the PS1 games on it. So basically you're running a soft, kind of a soft hard mod, but everything's playing off the system like it would if you had a disc in it. So you're using all the original PlayStation shit, just not the CD drive. You turn the CD drive into a hard drive that just plays the image to the system. Those are fun. Those are fun little builds, especially when people have never seen it. You're like, watch this. And you open the thing, you're like, what the hell's that line? I don't remember that. It's the hard drive that's in there now instead of the CD drive. You can do that with almost anything. Sega Saturn, all of it. Anything that opened up like that back in the day. Now the PS2, you won't do that. All you have to do is hook up the original hard drive to the PS2, and you can soft mod it through there and just have all the games on the hard drive. And you just, if you don't have something or you don't have enough room, daisy chain that bitch. And yes, you can daisy chain hard drives off of PS2. So, but you shouldn't have to. You really shouldn't. All you just have to have is one drive. You just got to know which drive to install. But it won't take that long to get all the PS2 games on there. And you just play them off that. Same thing with the Xbox. Right now, I've got 2 Xboxes in put away in the closet. One of them is a full redo. It's got new capacitors. It's got a new disk drive. It's got 4 times the hard drive space the original had. It's got games. It's got all the Xbox games on there. It's got Sega games, Nintendo games. It's got like the full kit and caboodle is on there. Plus, you've got all the mod stuff you need to do like infinite lives, infinite ammo, all that shit. So you can basically trainer it through the game, through the menu option. You just run a trainer and you can cheat through everything. The other one is a soft mod. And what is a soft mod, Loki? Soft mod is where you use software to mod the system. So with this one, it is the original Splinter Cell. So if you have the original Splinter Cell, you can trick the system into accepting the programs that are on the Xbox. So what you do is you get a Ethernet cable, hook it up to the back of your computer. It will ask you for a code. This is the most common place where people are like, "Oh shit, maybe I screwed up." That code will most likely be 0000, 4 zeros. It might not. You might be like 1, 2, 3, 4. It might be something simple like that. But the point is, you can change that in the Xbox. So if you want to change that code, you just go into the Xbox, change it, which most people don't know about. This is where they get stuck. And they're like, man, I followed steps 1 through 5. What did I miss? Well, you missed the fact that there's a 4-digit combination code to let a computer talk to your Xbox. This is probably dry shit and boring the hell out of everybody. But you can get everything. I mean, you can do the same thing with the Nintendo. So Nintendo GameCube, you just replace the CD drive, a little mini CD drive, with hard drive. And you're done. It's that simple. Almost all the like second gen shit, Sony 2, Xbox, GameCube, all that can be modified now and played without the shit that broke. Because guess what? 90% of the time, when your PS2 was like, I can't read this disc, or your Xbox was like, there's no disc inside of me, or your Nintendo was like, disc read error. How many of you ran up against that? Most likely it is the little laser inside. It's tilted, it's off its axis, something's wrong with it, or it's just burned out and won't read back and forth anymore. Yes, you can do that. You want to know how you can do that? By playing movies on it. The biggest screw up was, hey, do you want to play movies on your PS2? Because guess what? That wears all that shit out faster than just playing video games on it. So there's one of your biggest problems right there, was the disk drive. No longer an issue. You just play what you want. I think it's funny that the game industry, right along with Disney and everybody else that's on all this stupid shit, is like, you must buy our games. No, I don't. I've got 20 terabytes of games over there. 20 terabytes of games. You know what that, they don't know how many games that translates to? It's like 120,000 something games. Why? Because I can go back and play whatever I want whenever I want to. The only time I worry about it, I was looking at next year. I couldn't even count to 5 how many games I'm like, I'm going to buy that without second thought. The one game I'm going to get in January is going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake on PC. I'm not going to get Spider-Man 2 on PC. Why? Because I hated it on PS5. Why would I get it on PC again? Do you know why you got my money the last time, Sucker Punch? Because Spider-Man was a great game. It had a shitty MJ in it, but overall it was a great game. Now you've got Super Commando Karen MJ. That is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. That pretty much takes over the role of hero, while Peter goes down this dark rabbit hole of, I'm too white to be Spider-Man. You have to be a young black man to be Spider-Man, and that black man is Miles Morales. So pretty much, I mean, that's Peter in the second game. Is I'm full of white anger and white privilege, and I should let Miles take over with an MJ that is an absolute super Karen who went to super Karen school. Which isn't much different than going to Gestapo, the Gestapo school. Mod your old stuff, man. Go back, mod your old stuff, play your old games, watch the old movies. Don't worry about it. Disney, you lost my money. Paramount, you lost my money. Game companies are now losing my money. I'm not going to continue to fund them. I'm going to give I will give a studio a chance, but if you screw with me and you mess me over, you take my money, hello NetherRealm, Mortal Kombat, which is dead, by the way. Mortal Kombat is dead, and they're making all kinds of excuses. Oh, it wasn't ready when it came out. We didn't know that this was going to happen. Oh, boo, hooty dooty doo. No, all you had to do was make hot chicks and gory action and do what Mortal Kombat does. Instead, you created this game where Johnny Cage is like a pariah and he shouldn't be Johnny Cage. And bad men are bad, women are good. Where have we heard that before? Men are bad, women are good. Men are bad, women are good. Karens with the weird comb over haircuts and that date other Karens. That's good. White men evil. I'm done. NetherRealm, you can kiss my balls. I'm done with you. I'm not going to have anything to do with you. I'm not messing with you. The relationship is over. It is done. I will not buy another NetherRealm game. That's it. I'm not going to buy another Disney movie. I'm not going to get excited about Star Trek. I don't give a shit about Star Wars. They could come out with the greatest resequeled trilogy where they bring Luke and Han and Leia back and completely piss all over her grave and try and do something spectacular. I don't care anymore. Mark Hamill, you fucked it up, dude. You screwed it up for yourself. You went absolutely positively Trump drunk on derangement bullshit. So I'm sorry, but you've lost my business. I understand if you wanna stick with it, you wanna keep watching, and you're like, man, one day Star Wars might bring me some hope again. By all means, go through all that shit. But never forget that they did this to you once. And they did this to you once. I know you want to get like excitement back. I want to feel like Star Wars was Loki. I understand that. I get it. But it never will be, ever again. If this has taught anyone anything, it's definitely taught me. Once something is over, it is over. Do not try and breathe life back into it. Do not try and resuscitate it constantly. Let it go. It's done. It's over. They chose to do this. They chose to make these decisions. They chose to make it political. They chose to do this whole orange man bad thing. Let them live with their choices, because guess what? That's what normal human beings have to do, is live with their choices. I agree. Cotton, I mean, the guy's deranged. He's off his Prozac, or he's on too much Xanax or something. I guarantee you they're going to come out and be like, Mark Hamill went to rehab because he was taking too many stress drugs or anxiety drugs or Xanax or Prozac or lithium or some shit. He was on too many meds and he's sorry and he apologizes to everybody. You're going to get the apology tours from these people that were absolutely positively deranged and out of their mind. Why? Because they want your money. Don't forget, this son of a bitch was just making $500 a signature off your ass. That's what he was wanting. That's what he asked for. $500. That's what these people think of you. Oh, you want me to write my name down on something for you? Do you know what Timothy Zahn did when I was like, hey, how much? I've got the original. I brought with me the original Thrawn trilogy in hardback in the library backing. Okay, these are the rarest, harder to get first editions you can get. He said, no, I'm not. I don't charge anything. Here, buddy. Who do you want me to make it out to? I'm like, oh, Loki. That would be great. So he signs all 3 books. And I was like, thank you so much. And we stood there and we talked for like 5 minutes about how those books got me and my dad kind of in a better place with each other when I was growing up. Because it gave us something to talk about. Because we both like the author so much and we both like Thrawn so much. So it gave us something to geek over together that we could agree on. because I was getting into metal and chicks from beer commercials and all kinds of shit. And he's an academic. Yes, my dad was a fighter pilot, but he was also an academic. And that's what he did. That's he was an academic. He was a fighter pilot. He was a brain. He had the brain to do all that shit. I was like metalhead, pot, girls. But one thing we could talk about was sci-fi. And it was because of him. And we sat there and talked. And I said, I asked him, I said, what's the most expensive thing you've got here? And he goes, that first edition anniversary Thrawn's $50. And I said, I'll take it. I paid $50 for a hardback book. It's in there. It's signed by him. I got that signed by him too. Never once asked me for a penny. Never once. You even want to get near little Marky Moo? Not our Marky Moo, but that Marky Moo. You're coughing up dollars because that's all that matters. Yeah. Yeah. I would love that. I would love that. Because you know what? Barring his politics, I love the Gunslinger series. That's another thing me and my dad bonded over. Why? Because he's an academic and reads books. And, you know, he'd catch me and be like, what are you reading there, son? I'm like, oh, it's Dark Tower. Dark Tower, huh? Well, I read the first 4. If you have any questions, you know. And he had those. He got those as soon as they came out. He got the hardback editions. I've got all but the first 2 in there. His books, his hardbacks. Why? Because he gave them to me the last time I was there. He's on, once you take these. Because I know you're never going to get them. I told him I loved him, and I told him thank you. That is worth more. That memory is worth more to me than anything he's ever written. It's anything Mark Hamill's ever been in. It's anything that any of them will ever do. So really what you should think about is it these companies, is these actors, these movie stars that you're so fond of, or is it the experience around it and the people you had that experience with? That's important. I'll leave you with that one as I get out of here today, because I know what it is for me. It's the experience and the people that were around me when I experienced it, not the companies. We feel this betrayal because we loved something. A lot of it has to do with who we loved it with and how we experienced that. Experience me for Star Trek was family. Star Trek, not Star Wars. Star Trek. Star Trek was family. Star Trek was about my aunts and my uncles and my cousins and my dad, all my friends that liked it. That's what the experience of Star Trek was. That's why it was important to me. Not Patrick Stewart. So we're going to get out of here. Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend Andrew. We'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a great day.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.